Now is forever. Be aware that you are now. Young black, buck wild, plus I'm paranoid. Yeah. Heart so strong, my love like steroids. I got that smart ass talk back attitude, started packing my inventory.
Alright, so now, where are we now?
We're in NBS Studio in Cotonej in Chalet Camp.
Alright, so we're in the studio. So tell us a bit about the story of the studio. It looks brand new. It looks
Yeah, we recently, maybe a little under a year ago, moved the music studio, the NBS Studio, which has been around for 10 years, to this space, this was a changing room, and the secondary room was a shower. And we came in just with not a whole lot of money, but a lot of ideas and drive, and we developed a new space, a new NBS Studio, and it's looking fresh. And a lot of the philosophy behind MBS is, we didn't come in and develop a studio that we're like, oh, that's good enough for this. It's like, no, let's develop in a way that we would want to be in it. Anybody would be interested in coming, and just set the bar high for people. Everybody, when they deal in community things, are like, oh, let's give them scraps. You're like, oh yeah, that's real great. Like that's a good bar to set, scraps. Nah. So the whole mentality here is different. Having young people involved in the project, involved in developing it, not analyzing a young person and then being like, all right, peace. Now we're gonna have our conversation and we're gonna dictate what goes on. No, have them a part of all the process, make their decisions count. That's how things grow. Not just in a music studio in the community, but within businesses and anything else. So you need to have fresh ideas around you. You need people that can, that other young people can relate to that are younger as well. So yeah, I can go in a lot of different directions, but we do the recording here. Young people book sessions here. We're booked up like 4 weeks in advance, but still holler at us, you know. But we learn teaching people, but using hip hop as a way to like open realms of possibility when it comes to creating music. And now we're branching out into like video programs and different things. So yeah, a lot of dope stuff.
So tell me, you walk in here in the morning, you get into the studio. What's your first thought when you walk?
I need to burn some incense in here, and I didn't burn my incense. I'm not feeling as good now. No, but yeah, I think about burning incense, getting into a headspace because it's busy, not in terms of the amount of young people that come, but the sessions are always booked. So I kind of need to get into a moment of space, eat, get my head right, burn some incense, sort of get a mood going for myself before different young people come in to record, and so that you can give as much as you can, because we human, we're dealing with our emotions all the time, so we need to try to get into that space. Sometimes I get that moment and sometimes I don't, but that's the first thing that I feel when I come in.
And so you come in, you do that, and then how long are you gonna stay here on a typical day?
Typical day, I'm here for about 6 hours.
Okay, so pretty busy day.
Yeah, but the sessions are an hour and a half each.
Okay.
So sometimes you have one young person come in alone, and they're like, I want to record one song, meaning record and mix a song in an hour and a half, which is crazy.
Of course.
And sometimes they come in with other friends. If they're not involved with music, I usually call them their management. And then, so we go through it. Sometimes people come in with 5 different people. Sometimes people come in to showcase their beats to other young people and build community and build discussion and build alliance with other young people that are interested in the same things as you. I know you'll connect with some that are like the style that you're doing, and some that's like, oh, I want to do it like traditional way, I want to do it trap way, a boom bap way, and you find the other people that fit into that circle, and it's really about opening up realms of possibility. So it's like, oh, well, this dude, he might not make music, but he knows how to take a photo, or he knows how to design, or he's good at drawing, and pulling that all together and really building a team around. We know how important the team is that's around you in that process. So, and to be able to create around people is a gift that I wish that I would have been exposed to at their age, because you get a lot of confidence from that. If you can make a beat on the fly for somebody, if you get called for big features and stuff and you get pulled into a studio, you're not going to be too intimidated by it. So it's really dope in that way. Or recording in front of a lot of people, to try to get into your own creative space with others around is a powerful thing once you get past that point. But depending on the person, will start early, or like start a different way. If someone is like the first time, I'll ask, do you mind if other people are here? If not, I'll ask them to leave while we record, just to allow them to have like a moment to like try to figure it out. So we're really open over here too. Like, you don't have to be like, you could be just starting out. Like, we have people that come here that have been doing it for a while. We have people that just first time trying it, and we're super open and try to respect that person. So it's a place of respect here. So it's not like no one's in here judging. If you're judging, you out. That's it.
Simple as that.
Yeah. I'm like, nah. That type of thing, I'm like, I'm not down with at all. Yeah, especially because we all been there. It's like, yeah, you laughing about someone trying to figure the thing out, but I've seen you trying to figure yours out. Like, chill.
For sure.
So.
For sure. And so you come in here, you do your 6 hours. Are you here every week, all day, every day?
I'm here. The studio's open 4 days a week, so I'm here from Monday to Thursday.
Cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. And do you ever take some time, maybe, to take time for yourself, to stay maybe after hours, maybe work on your own stuff?
There's stuff I have to do outside of the place for the space.
Mm-hmm.
It's not that simple. It goes with you everywhere. You have a lot of relationships. You have a lot of young people you're dealing with. They hit you up on your phone and different things at every different time. So it sticks. I would say there's an hour a day that I probably spend outside of the space, like doing things related to the space as well. Yeah.
Sure.
So time for myself is an interesting thing, and I have kids, so it's,
so time for yourself becomes very
it becomes no sleep, bro.
Team no sleep.
No sleep. I mean, I'm not encouraging no sleep though. It's
No,
necessary, but yeah.
And so, after a full day of having, you say, an hour and a half each time of recording, so maybe you can get to see 3 or 4 kids a day.
I mean, it's average day. There's about 7 kids,
okay.
Not all of them recording, but sometimes there'll be 15 kids if they roll deep. It really depends. So I won't really know until the day, but I guaranteed to be at least 5 a day for sure. And that I'm including anybody that comes into the space to hang out too. So I think our average is 7 a day though.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. And so after a day like that, after a day where you're 6 hours in the studio, whenever you're not in the studio, you're running around for the studio.
Well, I don't want to, not always that.
Yeah,
but yeah.
Of course. In the general aspect.
Yeah.
And so you get out of your final day, you draw that curtain, and you walk out. What's your thought as you leave this place?
I'm grateful.
You're grateful? Ready to come back the next day?
Nah. I love it, and it's powerful, but it's draining. So like, it's like, okay, I need this moment in order to be at my best again. Okay, it's like, it's real. I'm never, everything is always honest. If you're honest with people, they relate to it, So I'm a human being at the end, and when I'm done the week, I'm done the week. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, I need this time to either do other things I need to do elsewhere, but also this time to just regroup and be able to be at your best. Because if you're in a space where you're trying to motivate people, but you're also providing a service for young people, yeah, it can be nonstop. So again, I'm grateful for it, and I'm grateful for the time that I get for myself too.
And so, how do you cope with all that? How do you help cope with the fact that, like you said, you're providing a service for these young people, but you're also helping them, guiding them, being a shoulder to rely on, also being a pillar, even when you're not in quote unquote studio time, when these kids could hit you up for a question. Or how do you cope with all that? How do you cope with that image of being so present for them?
I do. I just do. Yeah, I don't know if that's the most healthy way, but I do. I do, and there's other people here too, So there's Khaleem, there's other young people that are starting mentorship programs that help me out at different moments to carry weight, some of the weight. But yeah, I'm still trying to figure out that balance. So it's a process. So for me, doing my own music is therapy, and it helps release some of that. I'd like to see other people shine, so I found I learned the process of enjoying to see other people succeed, which we should all learn. And I'm not saying that I can always feel that way, but I'm in the process of that. And so those things are special, you know, those moments, those very few moments where someone expresses something openly about seeing them grow and how much the space has done for them. That's a special moment, you know, when they're like, oh, you know, I feel like a different person and things like that. And it's not, if you expect to hear that every day, then don't do this type of work.
Of course.
But if when it does come around, it could like, all right, that was a moment. You just got to be present for it. Sometimes you just in here, you know what I'm saying? You're here and you're going through your ish every day, you know? And then you're too caught up to see those things, you know? So
Is it that noticeable to see that whole development on a day-to-day basis?
yes,
Or
it can be.
because you're so into it, it actually becomes part of just the current process?
It's moments.
That's moments.
So for me, but sometimes it's very clear. Someone will come in, they'll be super nervous, their voice will be shaky, and then 6 months later, they like cussing out everybody on a record. You're like, all right, let's get it. Okay.
Damn.
Whoa. Okay.
You're welcome.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, and they're like super confident. That's dope. Like that's great. Like that. We know so much about life is about confidence and just willing to try things out. So when that happens, I'm like, that's beautiful. So that can give a lot.
And so how is the interaction between the artists? You know, because like you said, you have people from 11 to 18. It's a stage where you're developing yourself and where you want to go in life, and also physically you're changing hormones and stuff. How is there no rivalry? Is there no, like you said, maybe
it's pretty cool out here.
Or
No. I wouldn't even let that happen.
Yeah.
Not here. I'm like, allow them to start dissing each other on tracks. Forget it.
Neutral.
No, and it's like, and it's just, it's about creativity. It's like when you come into the space, my mood is like, yo, let's help boost each other up.
Get ready to work.
Let's boost each other up in the process. So, I mean, I can't tell you how everybody feels individually inside, but I can say that it's not really about that. There might be some people who be like, I don't understand what this dude's doing, what and this and that. But there's no real, like, it's a pretty open space, you know. If you push that philosophy and remind people of that and remind people to be open, then you create a certain energy that's just a bit more open. And so even the people that are like, you're weird or you make weird music, you know what I mean? They're like, they're around it so much that they're like, okay, well, being an artist, you can think outside of the box. So it's just, again, it's about opening realms of possibility. But there's no, it's a pretty peaceful place. You know what I mean? People have different ideas about the Maison de Jean Cotonege and MBS and Chalet Kent and everything, but it's a cool place and there's no real issues. You know what I mean? Like the issues no more so than in a schoolyard. You know what I'm saying? Like it's very chill, and there's a lot of dope things happening within the whole organization of Chalet Kent, of different programs, dance programs, 3D workshops, 3D print workshops, so many different things. So it's a really cool place and a really innovative, forward-moving place. Is if we're really moving in the direction of growing and changing and adapting to the times and looking towards the future, and developing it in unique ways and collaborating with anybody else who's sharing that vision, to move forward and to allow space for young people to be a part of the decisions in that process. I think that's going to separate everything in a different way.
Packing my inventory. Lips are down, have to work. Lips are down, have to work. I've been drowning deep in my thoughts, often breaking down and cutting music out my daily schedule. Didn't make a sound for a while now. I've been by myself, we don't get along. Only time we on good terms is what build the song. I've been working hard day and night trying to get my life together. Close friends making tough decisions. Oh my, I can't make it better. Look what you've done to me. Every time I let go of negative vibes, I bet someone will come with plot and they come for me. Trying to live comfortably.
My name is Khaleem, and I'm an artist. I shoot video, I take pictures, and I make music.
Okay.
And what type of genre? No genre. I just make music based on how I feel.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
And so you say you have no genre, but do you have maybe a source of general inspiration, maybe a movement that you approach more to?
Yeah, just people that are just relatable. Like I'm not like fixed on like artists that like not anymore, you know? Like when I was younger, I used to look up to like rappers and stuff, but I don't label myself as a rapper, so I don't necessarily like compare myself to them, or I'm not inspired by them as much as I used to be. You know, just anyone that's relatable and open, like that inspires me to like be the person that I am today.
And so how do you feel the studio and the Maison Jeunesse helped you develop that?
Well, when I was younger, when I was in high school, actually, Maison de Jeunes was a space for me and my people to come through and just like have a space to record or just write. And actually, when I was in grade 9 when when one of my friends told me about the space. I visited it and we came through, and I was making music, but I wasn't really recording. Um, so yeah, we just got into it, and yeah, like every day we just come through and just either write, chill, and then I met Dr. Mad, who was working at the studio at that time, and he just showed me the way. Like he just showed me how to produce. He just showed me that like I can make music without like having to like get someone to like like show me how to like how to invest in like a big studio, you know, like we legit had a mic and a computer, and like we just did it.
Just make it.
Yeah.
And so did you ever wake up one day and you realized, okay, like this music thing, this life that I'm choosing right now, it's actually starting to get serious. I'm not sure. Did you even relate to that, or
I was born that way.
just born that way?
Yeah.
And so how would
Like
you?
I didn't like wake up and feel like, oh, like I'm really into music. Like since I was born, like I was just always been surrounded by it. Like my dad's a musician as well,
Okay.
and yeah, like yeah, that's all I know is music.
And so you're talking about just born to do music. Do you relate to any specific instruments? Is there anything that you yourself have learned and picked up along the way, except mixing and producing, of course?
At some point I was playing drums when I was young,
Okay.
and I started again at NBS actually 2 years ago, like for a couple of weeks, and like not much, like, but you know, like here and there I do like play the drums.
Yeah.
You know, like for fun,
But your focus point more.
I'm focused more on just making music and yeah, just creating.
Just creating.
Yeah.
And so how does it work like that? You're in grade 9. You walk into a studio and you're face to face with Jai, and you're
Dr. Mad at that time, but he
Mad at the
started
time.
working here 2 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how does it work like that when you're in the developing stage of your life, when you're trying to, like we said earlier, trying to figure out where you're heading, you know, what's your purpose, what's your direction that you're choosing, and you have this older with more experience and more stability, you know, to bring to you. How does that affect you in your daily life when you're confronting yourself to someone that lived experiences that can actually transfer you knowledge?
Sorry, like, what do you mean?
How do you relate to that while growing up? Because I'm sure at the beginning when you have this person in front of you telling you, yeah, but maybe you should work on that, or maybe you should think about it that way. I'm sure you find it different at first, being confronted to the
Yeah,
real.
I just did the opposite.
You just did the opposite.
Yeah.
So what do you mean by that?
Like that's how I learned. Like
That's
I
how
just
I
did the opposite. Like everyone told me, oh, you should do this because you're going for this, and I'm like, oh no, but I don't want you to like dictate that. So I just did the opposite, and I found my own way. Just facts.
The opposite.
It's not lying.
Yeah, I'm not lying.
It's amazing. It's amazing.
Like I don't know. Like
And so did you ever hit a roadblock maybe, or at one point
all the
a
time.
wall or something that told you, why do I keep going against, like, is it
All the time.
all the time?
But you have to go against it to learn.
Push through.
You know, like you have to like do the opposite to learn.
And so how do you feel about your music today?
I'm impressed.
You're impressed?
Yeah.
With what? With how you've come so far, or?
With how I've incorporated all the elements. that I wanted to for the time, and just how much I can just understand that the music that I want to make, like, there's a turning point for me. Like, I noticed that I was making music for myself, and yeah, that was cool, but like I'm like I relate to people relate to me, so it's like these ideas are just not mine, you know. So like from my most recent projects, I've incorporated like just many artists, and like just having them like give them the album and be like, yo, like, do you want to like make the track list for me? Like, I'm really open, like depending on like who the person is and like my relationship with them. I allow people to dictate a lot for me, like in terms of finalizing projects and stuff. So like I'm not really like fixed on like on my work, and like I'm a perfectionist, but to the point where I know like I perfected what I wanted to perfect, and then I let someone else like handle it for me, because I want them to like just open up something else for me, because I don't see everything that I want, you know.
For sure. And so, how did you actually live that? You know, like you say that in one point, there's no really a point in your life where you woke up and you said, oh yeah, this music thing is becoming serious. It's just been who you are.
Yeah.
But you also have this aspect where you have this turning point where instead of making music for yourself, you're starting making music with and for others as well as yourself, right?
Yeah.
During that transitioning time, you know, during that transitioning when you're realizing that it's not only for you anymore, and you're trying to actually make other people enjoy it, how did you incorporate that to yourself and to the way you create music? Did it change the way you're going to create music now? Did it alter the way you produce?
Yeah. Yeah, it made me study like just people that are popular.
Okay.
In every genre. It just made me study closely, and just, you know, use what I'm inspired by. You know, don't like become it. Like, use it and just keep being true to myself, and like putting out how I feel and how I want to express. But with using like things like ad-libs and like certain sounds that people like just love, you know, like like in all that mainstream music. I really love mainstream music for that, because it's a template for me to just take things and just pick and choose and just make something new out of it, like what Gambino did with that new song.
Yeah, This Is America.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it is.
It's crazy.
Is it easy to lose yourself in the process, since you're taking?
You have to lose yourself.
You have to lose yourself.
You have to lose yourself to find yourself.
So you have to lose yourself to find yourself. First of all, that's a bar.
It's a bar.
That's a bar right there. And so, how did you personally live with that? Because you're saying that you're open, right, and that you welcome the process, open arms in your life. But I'm sure it's got to affect you.
Oh, it does.
Like all day, every day.
Every day.
Every day.
Yeah.
And so how did you feel like that? Did you feel yourself maybe becoming, not apart from open, is it more mature, or is it having a more space to look back from?
More space to look back from.
More space to look back from.
Yeah.
And so you analyzed the other artist at one point, and you realized that from all this analyzing and figuring out which step to go, you start to analyze yourself, right?
Yeah.
You start to, and
it's just like, do I want this, or like, do I just want what I'm working with, you know? And I stuck with myself. But, you know, I've always been open to their ideas, because they teach me what's like right for me and what's wrong for me, you know? Because I feel like a lot of artists like idolize artists, and, you know, like, it's cool to do that, but to idolize like the whole artist, like, it's just unrealistic, you know. And a lot of people get caught up in that, and they follow trends, and they follow all these things that like lead to a dead end, because it's not what you're like.
It's just a trend. It's
not for you, you know. Like, you got to create your own, and that's what I've been working on for like about 8 years now.
And did you see an evolution? Did you see not regarding you, but regarding around you?
Yes.
Regarding the fact that slowly, piece by piece, the work started becoming more open, more volatile, more diverse.
Yes.
And so, how do how does the environment adapt to that? Because you have to adapt to your environment, but at the same time, your environment starts to adapt to you too, right? You start to fuse. So how did your environment adapt to you? Did it change the way maybe you were creating songs with different people, and the fact that it was different people made you realize that maybe the first people you started making music with was maybe too close, you know? Like how did your environment change?
So like
With your music evolving.
so I started rapping with like one of my best friends who moved to Jersey, and like it was just me and him, and then slowly other people started coming into like the small collective that we formed, and we're still like together today. Um,
What's the name of the collective? Tell us about
Society.
that. Society.
Yeah, and yeah, when we were younger, like people were like in it, but they weren't like that open, and we really didn't know what we were doing at that time, but we just wanted to make music. That was just like the only goal. So MBS actually gave us that space to actually build with each other. So once we started building with each other, and we started like pushing in this direction where we just made like, you know, we're idolizing people like Odd Future, like all these people because they're open and they're wild, you know. But when people started saying like, oh, your clique reminds me of like this because of like the way that like they influence us to be open about like what we want to wear and like how we want to act in public, it's just it made me like it made us all realize that nah, this is not how we want to be looked at, you know. Um, and that's when we started building ourselves as individuals to come back together to make music. And I felt like we all felt like that was the best way to grow as a team because once my boy left, like I was rapping with him. Once my boy left, it wasn't really rapping anymore, and that's when I started making music. I started like not just sitting down writing to a beat. I started working with like my boys that are producers that are like we just started making music. That's it. Like we just got deep into it and we got lost in it.
So you went through a process and you're still going through it.
Still going
And
through
so
it.
you're changing yourself every day. And you're not changing, but evolving. You know, and
Mhm.
and finding out who you truly are day by day. Your environment around you adapts to you while you're adapting to it. So people come in and out. You have a studio. You have a different studio. You have a group. Then the group branches out to evolve each other's own. And then, unfortunately or fortunately, depending on how you look at it, your co-rapper slash best friend moves out. So you find yourself to maybe I don't want to rap anymore. Maybe I want to make music. And then 2 years ago, you meet Jai Tai, right?
Yeah.
And
Well, I kind of did have a choice to just make music, like,
yeah.
because like I was not inspired by rappers around me at all. Like rap was not like helping me like to express like in the way I wanted to. You know, I was missing something,
Yeah.
which is learning like how to produce, like how to like be on my own and record myself and just understand like how to use my voice in many ways. Like, yeah, it was a process. It's still a process.
It still is.
Yeah.
And I hope the process never ends, but.
Yeah, and then I meet Nitai Lotus, and yeah, it was just like when I was going downhill, like with rap, it's just like, oh, you're a dope rapper, and then we're like, oh, like, and then I had someone to relate to,
Yeah.
and I'm like, oh, word, like, yeah.
So how do you actually start working with that? Because you have in front of you this rapper that he has an album out, he has projects out,
Mhm.
people talk about him, people love his music, people
Mhm.
listen to it, and you have this artist right next to you that's all about what you're trying to find in yourself, all about being open, about being authentic and true to you, who you are, and you're on this downhill slope, like you say, and you meet Jai, and then he starts teaching you, but it's not so much as teaching, right? It's more about sharing.
You know, I think this is like the best case scenario, because I built like a really strong connection with Dr. Mad and
Yeah.
the people that worked there previously, and I was like, damn, like he's leaving, and like we were unsure about who was gonna replace him. So when I figured out it was Jai, like I didn't know he made music I didn't really know about him. Like I saw like Mingus Clap once, like
Yeah.
you know, like I've heard of that, but I've never seen like him. And I think it's just good that I didn't know, like, you know, I think it's best that way, because like there's no front,
There's no idealization.
There's no
it's
like
just you and me in this
just
room right now.
people like learning from each other, you know, because I feel like in that moment it was like that gap was being filled, you know, like there's no young, there's no old ones. We just saw like all the similarities were put like out there on the table, and we're like, he's shown me like ways that I can evolve in rap and in other ways. So that kept me rapping, you know, that kept me like open to make more music. Because if I just stopped rapping, I think like I wouldn't make music. I think
really?
I just continue like in film production, like yeah.
Okay. And so now I heard
Mhm.
that you now have actually a whole mentorship program to you.
Yes.
That you're actually helping younger people through mentoring to develop themselves the same way people helped you in the past, right?
Yes.
Do you feel, and this is not like out of disrespect or anything, right? But do you feel you're ready to be a mentor? Do you feel like, or is being a mentor part of the process, part of actually learning because you're actually gaining from him as much as you're giving?
That's exactly what it is.
Exactly what it is?
Yeah. Like the people that I'm mentoring are mentors.
Yeah.
Like I'm mentoring them for a reason.
Yeah.
You know, that because they have the potential to be at the level and higher than like all the mentors that we have had in our lives. You know.
Is that the goal to like once you take in someone, once you take him under your wing and you try to really help him
And
out,
they gotta pass it on.
you gotta pass it on.
Yeah, that's the only way.
It's the only way. Passing the legacy.
You gotta pass it on. That's what Nomadic Massive has
Yeah.
done with MBS,
Yeah.
and it's moving.
We're huge fans of the Nomadic.
Yeah.
Totally switching. Totally switching. How do you actually relate to that, to passing down the knowledge, to passing down a legacy? Is it hard to cope with that at such a young age, quote unquote?
No, I was thrown into it.
You were thrown into it?
It's true. I was thrown into it. Like
Facts.
I was heading that direction. I was like thrown into like a situation where I just had to be that just every day. Just like people like told me like, yo, like I see this in you, and I'm like, word, like I don't know what you mean, but you know, like that means a lot for you to tell me this. And then I started seeing my circle even like push me in that direction of like just telling me, yo, like
sharing.
You open me in this way, and I'm like I don't even know I do it. You know, I just be myself. So
that's the only way.
That's the only way.
That's the only way.
Yeah.
You don't even know you do it.
Basically.
And so what's to come for you? What's to come? What's the next plan? More producing? Maybe rap? Maybe an EP, an LP, an album, something? Or
a lot of talk.
Helping?
I think I'm just talking.
Just talking?
Yeah. I'm just gonna talk on records.
Oh yeah?
You know, I'm gonna talk about my sad life. Just give me a moment. I'm gonna tear up. No, I'm just kidding. Anyways, I think this summer I might drop a project.
Yeah.
You know, it might be EP. Yeah, you're right. Smart. How you know that?
I'm a hip hop passionate.
EP this summer. Yeah.
Alright.
It's gonna be fun.
Fun. See, that's different.
It's gonna be fun.
It's different.
It's for fun.
So far now we've been in. It's learning. It's interesting.
It's all the same thing.
It's enticing. But now it's fun. So, do you feel like you said there's no real point where you're like, boom, right? There's no real turning point.
It's always been fun for me. Yeah, that's why like yeah. There's no like I didn't wake up and be like, yo, I'm in this seriously now. It's like no, I've always been having fun with it.
And does it become more fun the
Becomes
more you learn, the
more
more you have fun?
Only because more fun and challenging.
And challenging at the same time.
Yeah. But I love challenges. It's fun to me.
But the challenge is part of the fun, right?
Yeah, yeah.
The challenge is part of the process and the fun, like we said.
Mm-hmm. Basically.
So we have an EP coming out, okay.
EP coming out. Also, this summer I'm here working with youth. I'm developing content for the space.
Okay.
And with youth from here to see if they're interested in becoming a part of the video production program that I want to implement later in the summer. So that's something that's happening, and if all goes well this summer, in the fall there should be like a steady program for youth to come here and either edit, learn how to shoot music videos for each other, because there's lots of like rappers and singers and artists in here, you know. So like in NBS, all like what we preach is just teaching each other how to do the simple things that we always go out to get, you know, like like it's not about outsourcing. It's about using your resources that you have in front of you. And NBS here, like we have a lot of people that come through that are quite equipped with a lot of knowledge. So yeah, it's just a spot to learn.
So let me go against everything right now that we've said and everything that
I
the
love
institution
this.
believes in. And I know I'm going to ask you a hard question, but tomorrow you have to pick one.
Mm-hmm.
Music or film?
This guy's crazy.
I'm asking real questions. Like I said, it's totally against... It's totally, like I said, it's totally against this. It's totally against the opening up and learning, but sometimes it's also interesting to find out what's like under all that opening and all that
Film.
learning. Film?
Yeah.
So tomorrow, if you got to pick one, it's the film.
It's film.
Because you can still be part of the music.
Because I'm music. I am walking music. Like,
You're walking music.
like it's facts. But I can't show people my eye.
Yeah.
Like the way I see like things. You
It's
know.
interesting the way you are music, but you can't show people how you view things.
Yeah. Like. Yeah. I
So
feel
then
like.
why rap?
So why rap?
Why rap? Why?
So I can quote myself. It's facts, yo. Because I stay true to myself. Because on every track, I'm like telling myself things that like I love about myself, or I don't like about myself, or I love about the world, or whatever, you know. And then, you know, like I say things, and I'm like, oh, like, and I just like say a bar for my song, and everyone's like, oh my god, like I really understand. And I'm like, yeah, because I'm just being myself. Like these are things that like sayings that I tell myself often, just to keep me moving forward, you know. Like that's what music is for. That's what the purpose of music is for me.
Yeah.
It's
Being
funny.
yourself.
Yeah.
And just quoting yourself.
Just quoting myself.
I like that.
Like who's gonna quote me?
Maybe us.
Myself.
No, maybe.
See, I have one person. I'm winning.
Now here's the thing. And actually, see, that's interesting the way you said it. You have one person you're winning, but the way I see it, you're not at all alone in this.
Exactly.
It's you, but it's also everybody else.
Exactly. But even if I think I'm alone, like I still have one person.
Yeah. And so what do you want to leave us on? Like this is kind of like you. What's something you want to say to the people that are going to watch this, to the people that are going to find out about how to be open? People that are currently about to enter the process, people that are right in the middle of it, people that are facing that wall that you said that you face often. What's one advice? Except, you know, like don't give up or whatever, but like
That's whack.
yeah,
I'm sorry.
Exactly. I don't want to be mean, but like
No.
don't be that. Don't be that, like
No.
you know, like that. Be careful, because Jai gave us some good stuff.
Be open,
He already said be open. You can't use it.
but I'm not done.
I said more than that. Continue.
Be open.
Yeah.
Don't interrupt people when they speak. And protect your mind.
And protect your mind.
Protect your mind while being open.
What do you mean by that?
That's it. Just leave it at that.
Let's see about that.
Just protect your mind.
Protect your mind.
For my enemies.
Don't realize I'm falling to the sky.